Why do some people deny that God exists, even though God can be known by reason? Knowing the invisible God is not easy for the human mind. We are used to understanding things we can see, touch, measure, and test. God, however, cannot be seen with our eyes or proven in the same way we prove physical facts. Because of this, many people find the search for God difficult or uncomfortable. It requires deep thinking, reflection, and humility. Some people become discouraged by this challenge and choose not to think about God at all. Instead of patiently seeking the truth, they may give up the search too quickly. Another reason some people deny God's existence is that knowing God would require change in their lives. If God truly exists, then life has meaning, and our choices matter. It would mean that we are responsible for how we live, how we treat others, and what values we follow. For some people, this feels demanding or inconvenient. Believing in God may challenge their habits, lifestyle, or personal priorities. It may call them to forgive when they prefer to hold grudges, to act honestly when it is easier to lie, or to care for others when it costs them time and effort. Because of this, some people prefer to deny God rather than face the call to change and grow. There are also people who claim that the question of God is meaningless because God cannot be scientifically proven. They argue that if something cannot be measured or tested in a laboratory, then it should not be taken seriously. However, this way of thinking is too narrow. Many of the most important realities in life, such as love, justice, beauty, and meaning, cannot be fully measured or proven by scientific experiments, yet no one doubts that they are real and important. In the same way, the existence of God is not a meaningless question simply because God is beyond physical measurement. To dismiss the question of God for this reason is to avoid thinking deeply about the limits of science and the wider scope of human reason. Some people may also deny God because of suffering, injustice, or painful experiences in life. When people face great suffering, they may struggle to understand how a loving God can exist. These questions are real and serious, and they deserve honest reflection and compassion. Yet the presence of suffering does not prove that God does not exist. Instead, it invites deeper questions about freedom, love, and the mystery of human life. Faith does not remove all questions, but it offers hope and meaning even in the midst of pain. In the end, denying God is often less about a lack of evidence and more about fear, difficulty, or unwillingness to reflect deeply. The search for God requires openness of heart, courage to face challenging questions, and humility to admit that not everything can be easily explained. Those who are willing to seek honestly, reflect patiently, and live truthfully can begin to discover that the question of God is not meaningless, but deeply connected to the meaning of their own lives.